Today we are here with the numerical problems on motion. Before we start the numerical problems, let us discuss one more topic, which is uniform circular motion. You can see a car is moving in a circular path with the uniform speed. The motion of the car with the uniform speed in this circular path is called uniform circular motion. Let us take this like this. The speed of the car is v and the radius of the circle is r. So we will define this. The motion of an object on a circular path with the uniform speed is called uniform circular motion. And the speed of the object will be given as speed is equal to distance traveled in one round upon time taken in one round. The distance traveled by this car in one round will be equal to the circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r. So the speed becomes v is equal to 2 pi r upon t. T is the time taken in one round. So the speed is v is equal to 2 pi r upon t. Now we will move to the numerical problems. So let's begin the numerical problems. Here is our first question on the screen. An object is moving in a circle of radius 7 meter, completes 2 rounds in 4 seconds. Calculate its linear speed. So here we have radius is equal to 7 meter, that is r is equal to 7 meter, and it completes 2 rounds in 4 seconds. 2 rounds it completes in 4 seconds. It means it will complete 1 round in 2 seconds. So the time will be 2 seconds. Now to find out the linear speed, we will apply the formula v is equal to 2 pi r upon t and put the values. The value of pi we have placed as 22 upon 7. The value of r is 7 and the value of t is 2. This 2 is cancelled out by that 2. This 7 is cancelled out by that 7, and we get v is equal to 22 meter per second. This is the answer. Moving to the next numerical. An object is moving in a circular path of radius 10 meter. Calculate the distance traveled and the displacement of the object when it traveled the half of the path. So here the radius of the circle is 10 meter. R is equal to 10 meter. We have to calculate the distance traveled and the displacement of the object when it traveled the half of the path. Okay, let us consider the object is traveling from A to B. This is half of the path, half of the circular path. So the distance traveled in this half of the path will be the half of the circumference of the circle. The half of the circumference of the circle. This arc AB will be equal to the circumference of the half circumference of the circle, and this will be equal to the distance traveled, that is distance equal to arc AB, which is equal to pi r, that is half of the circumference. Now put the values. The value of pi is 3.4, the value of r is 10. Multiply them, we will get 31.4 meter. This is the distance traveled. Now the displacement from A to B. Displacement is the shortest path traveled from A to B. The shortest path is this, means the diameter of the circle. So the displacement will be equal to the diameter of the circle. So displacement is equal to diameter of the circle, and the diameter of the circle is 2 times the radius. Put the value of radius, 2 into 10, we will get 20 meter. So this is the value of the displacement, and the distance is 31.4 meter. The displacement is 20 meter. These are the answers. A car acquires a velocity of 72 km per hour in 10 seconds starting from the rest. calculate its average velocity, acceleration, and distance traveled. So, the car acquires the velocity 72 km per hour in 10 seconds starting from the rest. The car is starting from the rest means the initial velocity of the car is 0, means this velocity is the final velocity. So we will say that V, that is final velocity, is equal to 72 km per hour, which is, when we convert into meter per second, we will multiply with 5 upon 18. When we multiply this with 5 upon 18, we will get this 20 meter per second. And the initial velocity is given as 0 because the motion is starting from the rest, means initial velocity is 0. And the time taken is 10 seconds. It takes 10 seconds from starting from the rest to gain the velocity 72 km per hour. So the time is 10 seconds. Now we need to calculate the average velocity, acceleration, and the distance traveled. So we have the formula for average velocity, which is u plus v upon 2. Put the values of u and v in this formula. We will have 0 plus 20 upon 2, and solve this, we will get 10 meter per second. So the average velocity is 10 meter per second. Now we need to calculate the acceleration. So to calculate the acceleration, we will apply the equations of motion, and we will use here v is equal to u plus 80. Put the values in this equation. We will have 20 is equal to 0 plus a into 10. From here we can calculate the value of a, that we will get as 2 meter per second square. So the value of acceleration is 2 meter per second square. Now we need to calculate the distance traveled. So using the equation, v square is equal to u square plus 2as, and putting the values. The value of v is 20, that is this. Initial velocity u is 0, and the value of acceleration is 2 meter per second square, that we have calculated here. Now by putting the values, we can calculate this s. So the value of s we here by calculate is 100 meter. So the value of distance traveled is 100 meter. The acceleration is 2 meter per second square, and the average velocity we have already calculated, and these are the answers. Moving to the next numerical. A ball is moving with a velocity of 0.5 meter per second. Its velocity is decreasing at the rate of 0.05 meter per second square. What is its velocity after 5 seconds? How much time will it take from start to stop? Find the distance traveled before it stops. So watch here. We are having the velocity by which this ball is moving is 0.5 meter per second. This is the initial velocity. Now the velocity is decreasing at the rate of this acceleration, means this is the decreasing acceleration, or we can say the retardation or negative acceleration. So let's have it. U is equal to 0.5 meter per second because this is the initial velocity. The acceleration or the negative acceleration is 0.05 meter per second square in negative. What is the velocity after 5 seconds? So this is our first part of the question. Let us take that part A. We have to find out V, or the velocity after when t is 5 seconds. Means after 5 seconds we have to find out the velocity. So apply the formula, that is equation of motion. V is equal to u plus 80. Put the values in these. So we will have V is equal to, the value of u is 0.5, the value of a is minus 0.05, and the value of t is 5. Solving, we get V is equal to 0.25 meter per second. Now we need to calculate how much time will it take from start to stop. This is the second part of the question. How much time will it take from start to stop? So we need to calculate the time when it take to stops. the time that it takes to stops. Means it will stop means the final velocity will be 0. So in the B part we have to find out the time when the final velocity is 0, or the object or the ball stops. So in this condition, to calculate t when v is 0, apply the equation of motion again. V is equal to u plus at. This time put the value of v as 0. Initial velocity is the same, that is 0.5, and the acceleration the same, negative acceleration. And in this case we need to calculate the time. Put the values. The value of v is 0, the value of u is 0.5, a is minus 0.05, and the t we need to calculate. From here we can calculate t, that will be 10 seconds. One more thing is there, we have to find the distance traveled before it stops. It means this is also the part of the part B. This also includes the part B. Find the distance traveled before it stops. So we have to calculate the distance traveled before it stops. Alright. So with the help of these data, we will apply the equation of motion to find the distance traveled. Apply this. The distance traveled before it stops is given as s is equal to ut plus half at square. Put the values in this equation of motion. U is 0.5, time is 10, half, the acceleration is minus 0.05, that's why this minus comes here, into the time is 10 with a square, so this is 10 square. Solving this expression we will get s is equal to 2.5 meter. This is our answer. So that's all for now. See you again. Thank you.